Blobbyvision from 1994. I could surely say we're all accustomed with Mr. Blobby, right? What? You haven't heard of Mr. Blobby? Are you fucking serious? What is it with you uneducated dinosaurs not knowing bloody anything? I'm more prepared to give my all on this horror masterpiece and you know diddly fuck squash? I can't believe this shit. Fine, get out your book to page... fuck it, let me tell you. Excuse me as I try to imitate my friend's accent.
Mr. Blobby. Oh god. Who the hell made this yellow spotted pink rubber suited blob of a creation? This man, Charlie Adams. Mr. Blobby was originally a brief appearance on Noah Edmonds' BBC show Noah's House Party. Not really too fond of the show at all, but it was presented live every Saturday with celebrity guest stars, lots of mishaps, and ran for 8 seasons till it killed over and died around 1999. Mr. Blobby didn't really have much to do on the show except for being an asshole to the special guests and audience. Apparently, he brought a little girl to tears as he sabotaged her birthday cake one time. What a prick! So not much of anything besides having the tolerance of acting like a dickish children's TV character persona, they decided to give Mr. Blobby a shining light and have his own show for himself. 3 tapes were created, many events occurred with people either loving or hating him, causing Mr. Blobby to dig himself a grave before the new millennium began.
And the tape that I've held onto since 1994 was the second release VHS tape Blobbyvision.
As a child, you'd have your Postman Pat, Paddington Bear, Art Attack, Brum and Animals of Farthing Wood within the BBC videotape library. But out of nowhere in the trenches of your collection came out a copy of Blobbyvision, and your face is in such a what the fuck face that you explode with excitement and pop it straight into the player. Enough with the shit filling, let's examine this piece of history. I can swear this to you, nothing in the entire world is as frightening as the fucking BBC's logo theme. Melt my wax, that music gives all vibes of mystifying eeriness. After that, we're heading right into the action, beginning with a warning logo that desperately wants you to rid this show from your life. They know you shouldn't be watching Mr. Blobby, but screw them, we're rogue agents when it comes to infiltrating odd shit. Although, the temptation of microwaving and sitting on the tape is rising.
Look at me, I'm sitting on it. Well, technically I'm not. I can't sit due to only being a fucking head.
What the fuck were they on though? Surf to Florida while watching the tape? Are they ludicrous? Who'd want to go to Florida? And if you're wondering, yes, that is how Mr. Blobby speaks throughout the whole video. He only knows the words blobby, blobby, and
Blobby!
We're definitely in for a tricky treat. Blobbyvision as a whole is an entire parody of other BBC and international shows, from kids shows to the news, sports, advertisements, infomercials, game shows, antique shows, and even Baywatch! We'll get to that soon, because that's the major part of the video. Postman Pat is the first in line to be parodied, with the utmost original name, Postman Blob. And if you can't stand the humour portrayed on the screen right now, then I'm sorry to say that this is what you get. Although this is quite the accurate representation of the local postman in our vicinity. Out of all this stupidity, the luxury of driving Postman Pat's van would be amazing, even though I'm a crafted candlehead. It'd be better than this creature of the Polka Dot Lagoon taking the helm.
How the fuck do I respond to that? Seriously, how do I comment on this? I don't know, but I'm gonna try.
So after Postman Blob, we witness Mr. Blobby riding Noddy's yellow car in Toyland. Okay then. Oh god, what the fuck? What the fuck? I've never been so scared in my goddamn life. Look at how horrifying those computer-generated background images are.
If I could puke, I fucking would. No one needs to see horrible 1989 CGI stock CG images. Not now, not never.
So it presses on with Mr. Blobby looking at fan art from 5-year-olds and mail, treating the letter how Anonymous would with bills. I have to admit that the sets are very cheap but still maintain a colourful aspect that you can kind of admire with the cheapness. It works well on Mr. Blobby's counterpart. The style is kind of bland if I'm to nitpick, like what's with the cod liver oil tablets surrounding the background wall. Hey, I have to critique something out of this, right? The odd thing about Mr. Blobby is that his humor is gonna be funny or not funny in your opinion. And for me, it's on and off. This shit where he's doing random effects I find to be hilarious. And not to forget the occasional laugh from the people making the show. But the slapstick skits I find to be not so amusing, especially the skits that go on forever, like this fire brigade pole incident and the wrestling match. It's probably funny thinking about it, a pink blob malformed creation wrestling a third tier Randy Savage. When it's executed, it's kind of lame. Anyway, in comes Mr. Mullet Man himself, Noah Edwards, who I'll say comes in quite often on the show. He even narrates everything for your dedicated concern. Noah brings in a bloody big bloomin' cream cake for Mr. Blobby's birthday, and you know how much of a douche Blobby can be. You'll know what's to come out of this.
And it's lovely, lovely icing.
Yeah, Blobby.
And look, there's a message on it.
Oh, Blobby.
And they've spelt your name wrong.
Blobby.
Yeah, there. Happy birthday, Mr. Blobby.
Noah can be funny at times through the show, having to deal with this monstrosity of cataclysmic events. Surprisingly, he can be quite scary himself. Yeah, scarier than Blobby, using a demanding parent voice.
Mr. Blobby, I think that's enough of that kind of behaviour.
But aside from that, he doesn't really muster much on the comedic side. I mean, I'd have difficulty trying to be really funny in front of a walking ice cream robot. Nevertheless, Noah does alright. The first main segment of the video is the sports channel, simply titled Blobby Sports. And oh god, this man knows how to rile me up. He doesn't even do anything, he just brings up the certain events like darting and golf and it cuts to the event. But the way he doesn't really give a damn and wants the paycheck afterwards is kind of funny to me. Well, it's funnier than these small sports segments that are supposed to be filled with hilarity. Bobsledding is up and Jesus Christmas, where's the fucking censor bar? Oh, that's better.
But now it's time for today's wrestling, where it's so quiet you could hear a pin fall. Oh, it's a joke. It's a wrestling joke. Well, if you didn't want jokes, you should have got Desmond Lynam.
Sadly, that's funnier than the whole entire 3-minute wrestling match that ensues. And they themselves fasten up the footage later on to save it from being a 7-minute segment. Blobby shoots out a window. Blobby throws a dart at a board, for it to then topple over. And then you laugh. The golf part has some good moments. For some reason, Blobby has a bit of a Scottish accent when he laughs and says Blobby. That's not the best part. It's watching these guys react to a guy trying to play golf in a ridiculous costume that makes for great viewing. Blobby just pushes and gets in their space and all they can do is laugh and question, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Out of the entire golf part, this is the bit I laugh at the most.
Hey, we're finally at the gold mine of this Blobbyvision video. Are you ready to see babes, sandcastles, pink yellow spotted shark fins, and a man in a suit that trips over more times than the average drug user? Then prepare yourselves for Blob Watch.
I'll admit the intro works immensely well and parodies the source material effectively, but they had to be very punny, didn't they? David Hasselblob? Blob Watch? Please, oh please stop with the goddamn puns. So, on Blob Watch, men begin acting like jarred zombies as this trio of multicolored bikini women walk along the beach. Why are the male humans being so strange near them? I don't get it. Is there some kind of field barrier warping their minds? Are the girls angels of death? Why am I questioning this when I know full well that that hair looks so spectacular?
I've always wanted a set of hair, but all I have is this tiny rope above my head. Fucking sucks, dude.
Lifeguard Blobby takes his utmost time getting to his seat and you'll probably know what will happen.
Blobby, there's a shark.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Look, Blobby, there's a shark.
What?
Look, Blobby, there's a shark.
Say it again.
Look, Blobby, there's a shark.
Couldn't have at least done a retake, Miss Muffet, who sat on her tuffet, eating her curzon way? So yeah, what she said.
Look, Blobby, there's a shark.
A blobby shark is in the ocean, and Blobby drives it away by shooing at it. Whatever works to keep the story rolling. More mishaps occur as someone is in desire of oxygen, and Mr. Blobby is on the watch to use his power of CPR on this unconscious woman. Yet it's the wrong person, and she takes off. I wouldn't blame her if I was about to be resuscitated by someone that looked like he came out of a clown's laundry. The one that was in need was... oh god. What the fuck is that? There's another one? No.
Oh, Blobby, I'm sorry I ran from you. How can I make it up to you?
Mr. Blobby, the pimp, sabotages sandcastles and ruins this kid's day by being a top-tier asshole and witnesses the wonderment of a big sandcastle only to walk all over it. Mr. Blobby partakes in the sandcastle competition. One of the kids that was originally digging a hole filled with women builds frickin' Hogwarts, whereas Mr. Blobby creates this wonderful masterpiece. Nothing tops those as the girl with their phone number impresses the judge and commences her the winner, whilst karma strikes upon Sir Blobby, the Blob Watcher, and forms one of the best images that represents tackling life goals. After Blob Watch, you'd think it'd be over, but no. Enter Blobby News, where the highlight of their news outlets is a cat getting stuck up on a tree. How the crew filming all this managed to keep a straight face without bursting out is astonishing. If I merely sat head on the set, I'd be in hysterics and immediately be kicked out for seeing the stupidity. Blobby gets stuck in the tree. What a coincidence. Let's start scrolling through most of the content within the tape. We're only halfway through and I'm finding it difficult to talk about the creature of the black oh wait, I've already done that one. You see? Alright, Mr. Blobby has a playing guard with a creepy mustache and a pipe that's giving the Monopoly guy a run for his Monopoly money. He throws the pipe, random explosion, and this guy pops out, passing out. Blobby doesn't give a damn, so he tries to put the pipe back in his gob and walks over without a gracious care in the world.
Blobby spray for cool people everywhere, naturally.
Ah, Mastermind! A decent representation of the show, but why no pun? Like Master Blob or Blobmind. Wasted potential right there. They have these not-so-nutso characters that almost achieve Blobby levels and answer the most ridiculous questions.
Who is the star of Noel's house party?
Granny doing the knitting is marvellous, and of course, when Blobby guesses wrong, he loses his nutter and goes completely ballistic. It's not really funny, especially if you compare it to the way the two Ronnies parodied the game show. So meh, onward we move. Mr. Blobby makes an appearance in Keeping Up Appearances. It's funny seeing him wreak havoc on their household and nearly destroying her china. Surprised Richard hasn't left yet. But then again, this scene could have been replaced with Frank Spencer from Some Mothers Do Have 'Em, and the chaos would have been funnier, if not better. Only you wouldn't have to Blobby, but rather... Stupid skull of skulls and his annoying goddamn insolence. Who the hell does he think he is? I made that Shane Warne story just for him, and he backlashes it on me when I show it to our fucking new guest. Oh, I apologize for the odd language, but I'm so used to Skull of Skulls just ripping your head with F-bombs and B-words and the C-word. How does he bring up cancer in a fucking video game review? Oh my god, I can't... Wait. What is that? Master of Darkness. Oh no. Ooh. Should I? Yes. And it all ends with Mr. Blobby's pimple house with surprisingly nice furniture rather than the set we've seen previously. But it's a nice fitting conclusion to a long watch through the bowels of hell. What makes it even better is seeing the bloopers of hell, only for the horror theme of the century to pop up again. At some points, I kind of feel sorry for the guy that has to dress up in this heavy, thick, and sweaty suit and endure these crazy tasks. Humans have enough trouble running, climbing, and wrestling about the place without a heavy loaf of rubber on them. So I have to commend the man Barry Killerby for his courageous efforts and magnitude of carrying the suit throughout many film takes. I haven't really mentioned any of the horror elements within this film, but do I really need to say what the elements are? It's Mr. Blobby himself! That's the major horror theme in the room! Look at his smile, the googly green eyes with eyelashes as big as the hairbrush. If this lummox wasn't portrayed as a kid's character, he'd probably be a serial killer of some kind. I've only been talking about the rest of the video in length, otherwise there wouldn't be much of anything to talk about while we wait for Anonymous to get the fucking wood already.
I'm getting sick of his fucking voice. I don't know how he lives with it. Does it seriously take this long? So Blobbyvision as a whole is okay, but don't come crying to me if your Ouija pads are fried thinking about the pink spotty ball sack. But you're pretty tall.
Master of Darkness. Yo! Do you want to know the story of the Master of Darkness? Yes.